It has been a very long day. Roadblock after roadblock after roadblock.
It says road closed, bridge closed, rotten, do not cross. All the things you don't want to hear about a bridge. Oh no, there's the bridge. We just found it. And I can see it's just rock slides and giant piles of logs from washouts, and the road is no longer there.
He's like, oh my gosh, why did we do this?
All of our hassles and wrong turns and dead-end roads and broken bridges, it's paid off. I'm super excited. We're about to go do one of my favorite things. Hello, British Columbia. Look at this. This is what you think of when you think of British Columbia, is it? This is gonna be really cool. Let me show you where we are.
6th floor, going down.
Well, can you guess where we are? We're on a ferry, and what's one of my favorite places to be in the world traveling is on a ferry. We are in British Columbia, and we just left Vancouver City, and we are going to Vancouver Island. Let's do this. So ferries are one of my favorite ways to travel. And it's not because I want to be on a ship, it's not because I want to be on the water, it's because it's the blend of me being able to bring my personal vehicle to a place that you can only access by a boat. And I love that. I love that we're going somewhere that we can't drive on our own. We need the help of this ship to get us there. It's also a really cool way to see things that you can't see off of the road from the van. You know, getting out here in these bays and oceans and all the places where ferry boats will take you is really fun and exciting to me. We've ridden ferries now all over the world, in Europe and South America. We've ridden quite a few in North America. And I think our favorite ferry of all time is the Alaska ferry system. It takes us all the way from Bellingham, Washington up to Alaska. But regardless of where it is, I just love riding ferries. It's really exciting. They just made the announcements. We're 15 minutes out from landing in Victoria, BC, Vancouver Island. I'm gonna head down to the van now and be ready to go as soon as they open the doors. Kathy was getting cold. She went to one of the interior decks to just hang out and read. And she's not here. Hope she makes it on time. Oh good, there she is, just in time. I'm glad you made it. I thought I was gonna have to leave without you.
Oh no, don't leave without me. I made it.
Well, we made it off the ferry. We're gonna drive a little bit to get to camp tonight, but we'll fill you guys in first thing in the morning. Good morning, Vancouver Island. We're gonna have some fun. Last night we got in from the ferry. It was raining, it was getting dark, and we decided to push the easy button and just come over here and camp on the side of the road at this beautiful bay. But it's nothing fancy, and I'm gonna show you around. So this morning, Kathy has already seen seals out here. We're looking for whales, and who knows, maybe some dolphins too. The water is crystal clear, and it is really great to be back here on Vancouver Island. And we even have our very own trash can. So about a year before we started our Pan Am trip, we came to Vancouver Island, and we spent over a month here on the island. Honestly, it was one of our favorite places that we discovered in a long time. We really just kind of fell in love with this area, everything it has to offer. So it's been a great first morning on the island, but let's get going. We got things to do, places to see. Well, here we are in Nanaimo, BC. Let's go see what it's all about. I think you guys will like this. It's gonna be pretty sweet. All right, we're here in front of Red's Bakery. This is supposedly where the Nanaimo bar started, and they have quite a selection there of cheesecakes and other things, but the Nanaimo bar is awesome. We've had them in the past. It's gonna be a treat getting one here in Nanaimo, BC.
Okay, so this is widely regarded as the classic Nanaimo bar in all of the area. And basically what it is a graham cracker coconut nut crust layer, followed by a custard layer, and topped with chocolate ganache. Decadent. Ooh, it's firm. That's amazing. It's a lot denser than I thought it was gonna be. I was thinking something more like pudding, but no, this is more like fudge consistency. Not too sweet, really, really good. Oh, and the hint of coconut, yum.
What is that?
This is the beef roll, and this is what she recommended, her favorite savory treat in the whole place.
Well, there it is, Red's Bakery. That was a really good stop. I'm glad we went in there. Kathy's roll she got was really epic too. If you guys are coming through here, you need to definitely swing in there and check it out. It's the place. Good morning, Central Vancouver Island. We made it. We're up here in the woods. And that's what a trip to Vancouver Island, at least for me, is about, is getting up here and exploring these beautiful mountains, these ancient forests. I love coming up here and getting this cool, crisp mornings with the fog hanging over the mountains. It is just so beautiful. And honestly, we just left Washington and Montana, and it was so hot there. This feels like such a relief getting out of the heat. So in typical Famagogo style, you're not gonna believe where we camped last night. We drove around for a long time yesterday, getting back into this zone that we wanna be in. Then last night, with it being a weekend, there was a lot of people out camping. So we did what we're really good at. We're really good at ferreting out weird little camp spots. And we found one here on the side of this mountain. And we figured, hey, this is a nice flat spot with a great view looking down on the lake below. We're gonna camp here for the night. There is a massive dump truck here. It is incredibly giant. Twice as wide as our van. It is at least a good 4 or 5 feet taller. And we're tall with our kayaks on the roof at 12 feet. It has these amazing 53-inch off-road tires. We thought the tires on the Arca were huge. Check out these things. They're about like 13 inches taller than the Arca. And it looks like this truck is maybe 50 years old and has been worked hard up here in the Vancouver forests. I just love running across this stuff and looking at it and thinking of all the stories this dump truck must have. Look at this. This is massive, very thick steel, and it has been pushed out from all the rocks and boulders and whatever they've been hauling around back here. This is incredible. What a story this thing could tell, and I kind of wish the guy who drove it was here, as I'd love to chat with him. Anyway, you'll be wandering around these forest roads here on Vancouver Island, and you'll see these massive trucks. Those leaf springs are like a foot thick. No fancy driving lights on here, but this bumper will take anything you want to throw at it. And look at the front recovery point. This pin is as big as my wrist. It goes through here, and up here it lifts up and down. And that's where you would attach a chain or whatever to pull this beast out of the mud if it gets stuck. What a behemoth. I love checking these things out. And look at this huge diesel engine in there. You'll find these things just scattered about in the forest, and the loggers will come back, I guess tomorrow morning, will be Monday, come back and they'll fire this thing up and get to work. Now, this isn't the type of spot that we're gonna hang out at, you know, and spend a couple of days in, but it's a great little place to just spend the night. And that's exactly what we did. So fun discoveries here on Vancouver Island, and we're just getting started. Let's keep going and see what else we can find. All right, we were just driving through here, and Kathy looks off the bridge and she sees what looks like hundreds of salmon. Now they're in the glare down there. It's really hard to see with your naked eye and almost impossible to see on this camera. But they are all just lined up, hundreds of them at least, and they are at least 2 to 3 feet long. They're big guys, and I can see one dead one that's down here that gives me even a better look at it. But there is some kind of salmon run going on, and right now I'm just kicking myself for not having my fly rod. This would be so fun to go fishing right here and catch some of these salmon. Very cool. I love it up here. I love the salmon. I love eating the salmon. This is fun. All right, we just parked the van back there and we're walking down to this beautiful river that we saw. Well, there are salmon in the river, and there's fishermen too. These have been filleted and left here. At first I saw those salmon carcasses and I thought bears, but these are filleted out, so they're not bears. And being that they're still sitting there, looks like undisturbed, maybe means that there maybe aren't bears here right now. So I think that's a good thing because I forgot the bear spray in the van. Won't do that next time. We're traversing the riverbank here to see if we can get over here and maybe see some salmon that are actually in the water. Some live ones. There are bald eagles flying back and forth through here, and I think they're feeding on the salmon as well. All right, we found them. The salmon are down here in this pool, the deepest part of the river right here. And we read online that they like to be below a confluence of 2 rivers where there's cold water coming in, and they're resting up there to make their trek further upstream to go to where they'll spawn. Now this is where these salmon actually came from years and years ago, and they go out to the sea, they live their whole lives in salt water, and then when it's time for them to reproduce, they know exactly the stream that they came from. They return to that stream, they swim all the way up, sometimes hundreds of miles, and they spawn in those exact same places. This is really an amazing story, and salmon are kind of the cornerstone species up here in the Northwest and up in Alaska, being that so much of the other wildlife relies on this salmon spawn, because once they spawn, they're gonna die. And then these dead salmon float downstream, and all the animals, the birds, the bears, everything benefits from these salmon. And then each year, the whole process starts over again with a whole new set of salmon coming upstream to spawn. So as a kayaker, you know, I have a little bit of a different relationship with rivers than somebody who maybe hasn't spent much time on rivers. And when they dam a river, it affects us as kayaking because under those lakes, there is rapids and beautiful canyons and river that you can no longer paddle. They're buried beneath the water and the dam. But for salmon, it's even more critical because these dams will go in and then they can't get to their spawning grounds and they actually won't spawn there anymore. And it can take out a whole group of salmon that you rely on that drainage to spawn, and they no longer do that anymore. So some of these places where they've actually removed old dams or put fish weirs, they build structures where the fish can swim up the side of the dam and get upstream of it. They've been amazing success stories, and they have seen the salmon come back in those areas once the dam goes away in huge numbers. So this is really interesting stuff. I'm fascinated by the salmon. I love coming here. I love seeing them. I love eating them. I'm a big fan of salmon all the way around. All right, we're here in Gold River, BC. We've just met Presley and Aiden, some really cool locals here. They've got these awesome electric motorcycles they're ripping around town on. And we asked them about some of the fishing around town, and they said, hey, you don't have to necessarily go fishing because we've got some fish here. You guys mind telling me about it? So what's it like living in Gold River?
Oh, it's really fun. You get an adventure a lot and go camping. It's really fun.
What do you guys do on these electric bikes?
Wheelie down the town.
What's your favorite season around Gold River?
Probably summer, because you can like do lots of swimming and like snorkeling with the fish and stuff. Yeah, it's like down at the junction you can go there, and like there's like lots of fish and like little fish, and you can like feed them. They like come around you. It's cool.
You swim with them?
Yeah.
Wow, that'd be fun. You have a mask on and.
Yeah, mask and snorkel.
Are they like salmon or other kinds of fish?
Yeah, there's like these fish, like the sockeye.
Okay.
And they're like, there's like some like smaller trout.
What's your favorite type of salmon?
Probably sockeye.
Sockeye.
Okay.
There we go. They saw us in the van and they were really curious and started asking questions. Hey, we've got some fish in our freezer. We'd love to share some with you. So she went off and grabbed us some fish, and we are so grateful. If you guys are watching this video now, thank you so much. You really made our day. We really appreciate it. And you live in a beautiful part of the world, and we're so excited to get to come here and experience it. We're off to the next place. Who knows where that's going to be, but we'll know soon. Good morning, Gold River, British Columbia. We're headed up to a place called Antler Lake. It seems like it's like about 2.5, I guess that's kilometers, maybe that's miles. Gets confusing up here for us Americans. And now we're in this beautiful, lush, temperate rainforest. So let's do this, let's go explore this part of Vancouver Island. They are so tall. There's these little trestle bridges all throughout the swampy, wet areas. And this boards on here can get really slippery. So they've put this metal wire on here to give you a little traction. Ooh, look, we found a banana slug. Look at all the ferns on this log. It is just covered in these fine ferns.
Oh my goodness, this is one big tree.
Look at this. A ferry here. That's kind of odd. We have this old stump of this ancient tree, and then growing out of it is a smaller tree. It looks very happy and healthy. Creatures placed in fun places. Look at that giant banana slug. It's right there on the side of the bench. And look here, there's some wind chimes. That's funny.
Well, I'm usually one for leaving nature as it is because I think it's pretty darn perfect. But finding the little ferry and the wind chimes and the owl has just made this hike absolutely magical.
Here we are, we've made it to the actual lake. Well, we're back to the Revel van. That was a really great hike. That was the Antler Lake Loop. If you guys are in this area around Gold River, BC, maybe come check it out. It was beautiful. Let's keep going north though. We've got more cool places to go check out. This is a really cool spot. These are little campsites that are here along the lake. Every one of them is pretty beautiful. It was kind of an uneventful day today after the hike. We drove through the rain on a lot of the logging roads. They're dirt roads and they're beautiful, but we were just kind of socked in the rain and the clouds. Now we've made it up to here to return to one of our favorite campsites. I'm really glad to be here, and the forecast actually looks a little better for tomorrow. All right guys, we'll see you then. Well, we've made it to Woss, BC. This is getting up there on Vancouver Island, and we're here at the Woss store. Woss is a very small little town, and they have one little general store type place. And our cupboards are bare. We're needing some groceries and stuff. So we're gonna go in here and see what they've got. Well, are you seeing what you need?
Yep.
I'm looking still.
I got the breakfast of champions. I have a pepperoni cheese stick, chips, and a Coke.
Well, we've made it all the way over here to Port Alice, BC. This is gonna take us somewhere really cool. Whoa, I had to throw on the brakes. We're gonna go back for this. Holy heck, look at this site. This looks like an incredible place just to sit and hang out for a little bit. Okay, it's coming back to me now. Our friends at Epic Family Road Trip, they told me when I was talking to them about Vancouver Island about a camp that's just like this. They said you could park your vehicle and you were next to and under this beautiful waterfall. This has to be the spot. Unfortunately, it's a little early in the day for us to camp here, but we're gonna hang out here for a little bit and take this in. And I'm definitely making a mental note to maybe come back through here on the way out. This would be an epic place to camp. Well, there's a sign here, says road closed, bridge closed, rotten, do not cross. All the things you don't want to hear about a bridge. So there's a little map taped here on the bottom of the sign. I'm going to study that. I'm going to cross-reference it with our maps and see how we can get around this rotten bridge. You know, you come up here and you think it's just going to be a walk in the park, but just like my time in the deserts, you know, how a certain route will be great and then all of a sudden a storm will come through, it'll wash out all the gullies and the washes, and all of a sudden it turns into a whole different type of adventure. So same here, you know, we're up here on all these maze of logging roads and they're mostly very well maintained. But, you know, a flash flood can come through here too, take out a bridge. In this case, it sounds like the bridge itself is rotting. We'll figure it out. Looked on our maps. I think we've decided to keep driving up here, see if we can find the bridge, and then once we find the bridge, see if we can then figure out a way around it. So it's really hard to figure out how to get around it where we don't know where it is. We're taking an alternate route here. It's a little more brushy, and it looks like it's actually gonna be a shortcut if it goes through. All right, well, you know you're on a seldomly used trail when you gotta whip out the silky saw. But we got a branch here. I think if we were in a Jeep or something, we'd go right under it. But with our kayaks on the roof, we're gonna save the wear and tear on our boats and just nip this one back. Yeah, it doesn't take much time. This silky saw just buzzes right through this stuff and then it just folds right back up. It's like a huge pocket knife. I'm gonna keep this handy. All right, can you guys see this deer? He's just running along in front of us. Seems really happy. Maybe happy's stretching it. Should we pick him up and give him a ride? Oh no, there's the bridge. We just found it. We thought we were being sneaky and going around it, but clearly not. Well, we studied our maps, we made our best guess, and guess what? We chose wrong. We're here at the place where the bridge must be out. They've made a barricade here to block people from going, I guess, over the bridge, which is kind of a common thing that we've seen all over the Pacific Northwest at times. You'll come around a corner and there'll be a massive tree that someone felled across the road, and then you get up to the tree and then you look just past it. The bridge is out, or whatever it might be. What does it say? Stop! Bridge closed. Well, I guess we're here. Oh boy. So that must be the bridge. Here's another sign here saying it's rotten. That is no good because we are getting so close to where we want to be and we just keep getting roadblocks, literally roadblocks. All right, I guess we're gonna backtrack and we're gonna take that other road down and around. It's gonna be a longer route, but it's actually gonna be the more scenic way that I wanted to go initially. And we thought we were skipping the broken bridge by coming this way, and then here we are. So it's always fun, but here we go. And hopefully we'll get there tonight. So we're going to a really cool place. It should be very much worth this effort. Now we came down here, there was a cool looking creek crossing. We were all prepared to 4-wheel drive across the river. And I thought the river made a left, and I walked up here to scout the creek crossing, and there's no left, it's just woods. And I have the drone in the air, I fly it over, and I could see that what used to be the road is now a creek bed, and it is completely gone. But then I flew the drone up ahead where the road should go, and I could see it's just rock slides and giant piles of logs from washouts, and the road is no longer there. So it's a double day of turning around when we think we're almost there, and I think that's exactly what today's gonna be about.
It has been a very long day. We started driving at like 8 o'clock this morning, and it's now 6. We haven't really stopped for anything, so it's just been a long, long, long day. And we have just hit roadblock after roadblock after roadblock, and now we're at another one. So I guess we're gonna turn around and head back and see if we can find a place to camp. It's getting pretty late, so we're gonna try to find some place to just hunker down and figure it out tomorrow. Usually I enjoy this kind of exploration, but man, I don't know. We'll see if this is type 2 fun. Type 2 fun you always look back on fondly, and this may be one of those things like, oh my gosh, why did we do this? But you know, maybe it'll turn out good in the end, who knows? On the way out here, there's this amazing camp, and when we pulled in to look at it, I was like, oh, we should stay here. No, we headed to the better camp, but now I think we're gonna turn around and go back to that one and hopefully salvage a little bit of today.
Let's do that.
Let's do that. Let's get out of here and yeah, find a place to camp for tonight.
Spotted a herd of Roosevelt elk. These are the largest sized elk there are in North America, and they only live up here in these rainforests. All of our hassles and wrong turns and dead-end roads and broken bridges, it's paid off. We found the lost beach that we were searching for, and oh boy, this is gorgeous. This is my kind of beach, and we're literally a stone's throw from the water. This is gorgeous. I'm relieved to be here. When we were at the Big Thing in Montana, our friends from Epic Family Road Trip YouTube channel pointed this spot out on a map, and it was kind of rough directions. It was more like, here is a place you should go check out, this area. And Peter said, he's like, yeah, it took us a couple of tries to get in there, We tried to go one way and the road was really bad, and then eventually we got in there the second time. Well, last night I sat there and I pored over the maps even more, and I figured out another way to get in here. And I couldn't help but laugh because I'm sure this is exactly what our friends at Epic Family Road Trip went through. And here we are, having a very similar adventure. But the one thing that'll get you through most things in life is persistence. And we persevered and we came back today, and with a little more experimentation and exploration, we found our way to this beach. And I gotta tell you, it was worth the effort. This is a beautiful place. I'm so happy to be here, and I'm really looking forward to spending the night here. So if you are one of our patrons, we are gonna be creating a Vancouver Island field guide. Look for it coming out very soon, and it is gonna have our complete path through Vancouver Island. We're also gonna share some of our favorite spots that we didn't go to this year that we've been to in previous years. This is an amazing place to explore. I think of it as almost like a summertime Baja. You know, we go down to Baja to escape the cold weather. Well, we come up to Vancouver Island to escape the heat. So consider joining our Patreon. It'll give you access to our field guides that go all the way from Tuktoyaktuk and Prudhoe Bay, Alaska, down to central Mexico and many places in between. But more than that, Patreon is a great way to support the content creators and people making the types of videos that you enjoy watching. It's a great way to give them a high five and to make sure they stay out here creating the type of content that you enjoy. So huge thanks to our patrons. You guys are the best. We love running into you at different events and out in the wild. It is awesome, and we really, really appreciate your support. But from the secret beach of Vancouver Island, there's one last thing to say. I hope I see you somewhere over the horizon. Take care, guys. This place is awesome.